Mark 8:35, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake in the gospel, the same shall save it. Okay, let's begin. Hello to everyone. God's peace be with you. Now let's continue our exercise. As usual, planning and control management. Part 2 on how to establish or develop a new project. Okay, we will review our previous episode. That was session 8, which includes the activity resource loading and for the first segment. Now for our current episode for today is session 11. The same topic, but in the second segment. Now I think we are good to go to proceed Primavera P6 and make this resource loading to happen. Okay, let's open our Primavera P6. Okay. Okay, where will we start? Okay, our resource loading. But before that, we will open our project. So we will go to enterprise or project using the menu, or we can use this one, the shortcut icon. Okay. It takes time to open a project. Okay. Let's open our project. Just highlight the project and then right click, open it. And then let's go to the previous layout that we are working with before. So let's go here, view layout. But we should be used on the shortcut one, this one. Okay, click it and then open. Just click no. And then we will go to our usual layout, which is the tender schedule. Okay, apply. Okay, here we go. Okay, our topic for today is the loading of resources into our schedule. So let me show you the parts of the windows here. This is, as I said before, this is the activity window. And we have here the, at the bottom is the detail window. So here you can see the tab for the resources. So we will be using this one. Just click it so that we can see the columns for the resource loading. Okay. So we will resource load our mobilization. Anyway, first, let's change this, our data duration type into units per time. Because previously we used the units, but in our estimate before, we mostly use the fixed duration and units per time. So how to copy it? Just highlight the source duration type and then highlight using the shift key, highlight the destination your cell, okay, and then right click and then use fill down. Okay, done. So our duration type now for all the activities is fixed duration and units per time. Okay, I think this WBS, the column for WBS and the activity type and even the duration type, we can remove this. We don't need this anymore in our resource loading. So we will remove this WBS, activity type and duration type. And then what we need here is since we are loading the resources, so we will be expecting for the cost that will be generated. So we will show the cost, the budget cost. Okay, we will go to the cost group, and then can we find the budgeted group here, budgeted cost? This one. So this is the budgeted total cost. We will move it at the right pane, or we will show it in our column, our current activity window. Click and then highlight it, and then let's put the into the center of the column. Okay, apply, and then so you can see here it is still 0 because we don't have any resources yet. Okay. If we need some columns later on, we can quickly add it in our window. Okay, let's close. We can also show the resource column for the resource. Okay, so that we can see what resources we can see it in the activity window itself. So where we can find the resources? So Control F and then resources. Okay, where is it? Oh, feedback. Just find it next, next, next. Okay, we don't need it. We need only the resources. Okay, this one. So move it at the right pane, and then edit, and then center, and then okay, and then apply. So every time we added the resources, the resources here will be populated with all the resources that we added. So we will start from the mobilization. So the first thing you need to do if you want to load your resources, highlight the activity that you want to load the resources. Okay. So we highlight the mobilization, and looking at our resource estimate recently, our mobilization includes the laborer. So we have to add it here. But anyway, here in this column, in the resource assignment window, the column here, we can edit it. What you need to do is just point your cursor here at this portion on the column heading, and then right click it and then customize. Okay, there's a lot of items here, but we don't need this all. So we will remove all of, we will just leave a few columns, which is really important in our resource loading. So we will remove this one. We will put it back to the left pane. Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. We will leave the resource, apply. So we have only resource name that is being left. So we right click again and we will add the most important resource for now, only for the purpose of loading the resource. So what we need to do here is the duration. We need the original duration to be shown here. Only the original duration, because we are just starting developing the schedule. The remaining duration is not needed now because we have not yet updated our schedule. It will be used later during the the execution of the project. while the time is moving, so we can use we need this remaining duration. But for now, only the original duration we need to show here. Okay. What else? We need the budget units. Okay. Where is the budget unit? So we will just control. Actually, I already am very familiar with this. The units we can see here in the units. So we will look for the budgeted units and also the how about the units per time? I think it is here in the general. But if you have the difficulty to look for it, just use the control K and then type, like for example, control F, and then type, let's say, unit per time or just unit is okay. And then just find, okay, this one, you see the budgeted units per time. So we will insert it here. Okay, what else? We need to show the what? The cost, of course. So we will go to cost here. So we will, let's say, budgeted cost. Okay, we need this one first. For now, the budgeted cost and the cost at completion is still the same. I mean, yes, because we have no progress yet. Okay, apply. Let's try it. Okay. So as you can see here, just take a look on my cursor so that you can follow what I am doing here. Okay. Okay, resource. Well, the first thing to add is the resource that we need to add first in our mobilization activity is the laborer. Okay. Just at the bottom of this window, of the what do you call this? The activity detail window. Be sure to click here the resources because we are loading a resources, and then add resource. Click here at this tab. Click here, and then it will pop up the one or the resource dictionary that we created earlier. So we have here already our what do you call this? This is our resource dictionary that we can select. Okay, so let's find for laborer this one. So just double click it or just click add. Okay, just double click it. Okay, and we can see it here. So the next thing to do here is to, so you can see the original duration automatically reflects here. But take note, we will just move it here. Take note that the original duration is, this is for the resource. And the activity, I mean the activity duration is not always the same as the duration of the resources because duration of the resources, it depends on your judgment whether you want the, let's say, for example, you want the grader is to be used only for 20 days and then followed by, I mean, the let's say first you will be using the backhoe for the clearing, and then after that you will be for the clearing for 15 days and then followed by the grader. So it does not really mean that if you employ the equipments, it will accommodate all the duration of the activity. Okay, but mostly the duration of the resources are the same as in the activity. This is the activity duration, and this is the resource duration. Actually, originally it will mostly the resource duration. If you have the task dependent type of activity, the duration, I mean the resource duration inherits the duration of the activity. Okay, let's move on. Next is budgeted units per time. According to our estimate, we have 5 laborer per day. So we need to put 5 here. Okay. Anyway, we will add the cost of the here in a column. We will add the cost of the resources. So we have to show the unit price or the unit cost. Where can we find it? Let's Control F and then unit, more, calculate cost from units. Okay, we need to show this one also. Okay, next. Okay, find. Okay, this one. Have you seen this one? Nah, that's price per unit, so we need it. Actually, we already established that the price per unit, we already established that in our resource dictionary. That is why this we can quickly pick it up and put here in this column. So our laborer or non-skilled has only a 400 currency per unit. Okay. Okay, we will modify our column to put all of them at the center. Okay, center, highlight the column heading, and then edit, and then center, highlight, and then center. Actually, I can make this as fast, but I'm concerned that you may not understand if I'm very fast on doing this. So I'm trying to make it a bit slower for you to understand and follow the cursor where it goes. Okay, edit, and then center, edit, and then center, edit, and then center. Okay, okay, apply. Okay, all of them are already in center because I have the attitude that I don't like to see a messy. I'm working in a messy. I want it. Everything is in harmony, in order. Okay. Now we have the budgeted unit per time is 5. Price is already shown here. So we have the duration. So the budgeted cost is calculated automatically by Primavera. Let's say if we will change the budgeted units into 4. So take a look on the budgeted cost. It will change. You see? So that means 45 duration multiplied it by 4 and then multiply it by 400. How much? Okay, just calculate it because I don't doubt Primavera that is calculating wrongly. Okay, let's move. So this calculate cost from units. We need to check this out because the check back because of course when you put units, the cost should be based on the calculation of the cost will be based on the units. Okay, so let's move faster. Next is the medium size truck. So we have to add it. And then where is here we can see the let's say medium size truck. Okay, double click it. And then how much is the budgeted units per day? We have only 1. And how much is the okay, there's no need, but take a look on the duration because medium sized truck we have 45 days, so that's fine. So let's move again. We will add again the resources. Next is the truck driver. Okay, and then the duration is 45 and also 1 unit per day. Okay, we'll go to fuel. So we have here also our fuel here. Double click it. And then how many days? 45. but the budgeted unit is 600. So we have to put the budgeted units here as 600 so that the budgeted units per time will be calculated by the Primavera. Okay, so 600. Okay, you see? So if you calculate it, 45 multiplied by, 600 units multiplied by the cost of 100 liter per unit. So it will give you 60,000. That's fixed, okay? Okay, let's check it. 45, I don't know, 45, 1. Oh, our labor rate should be 5, right? Okay. Why did it change to okay, 115 and then 600 for 45 days? Okay, done. So next we will highlight we're done with the mobilization. So we will highlight the established temporary facilities. Okay. And then add, we will be looking for laborer, which is laborer. So duration is 30 days. How many laborer per day? That is 9. Okay. Done. So we will add again. Laborer skilled. Okay. How many skilled we have? We are required with how many skills? 5. Okay. 9, 5. Next is the temporary materials. Okay, this is what we discussed on the last episode regarding the expenses. I think you already understand what expenses is. So expenses, when we have to load expenses in our schedule, it is different. You know, what you need to do, if you look at here, you cannot see the expenses here, but if you right click it here and then customize, you can add the expenses here. You see this one? Okay. Uh, we will highlight expenses and then move it to the right and then highlight it and then using the arrow, put it near to the resources and then apply. So we have already here our resources. Okay. So take note, the loading of expenses and resources is different. That is why, because no expenses is a one-time expenditure, while resources is a long-term expenditure. So in expenses, okay, we will highlight expenses and then we will add for the temporary materials, that is for the temporary facilities. So we will add expenses. We will add it here. And then if you look at our data, we have a one-time, budgeted cost of 500,000. Okay. Have you seen that one? So we have a budgeted units 1 and the price is 5,000 per unit. So we will input it here. What should be our okay expense item? We will say temporary. Let's say temporary facilities. Facility. Okay. We need to input our data here itself, because expenses, we don't have any data in the resource dictionary. So when you are doing with expenses, this is the thing that you need to do. The expense item, you have to put what is it, and then the expense category. If you click it, okay, you can see it here. So a temporary facility, let's close it for because our spelling is wrong. Temporary facility. Okay. If you click it, uh, temporary facility, what category, expense category where it falls, where it falls? Administration, consumables, it is none. Hardware, consulting, software, facilities, uh, legal professional, materials. So we can say it is immaterial category, right? Publishing, training, travel, other. So we will be using a materials category. Take note, these items here, we can also, what do you call that, create additional items here if we want. We can do it by going into the admin here. In the admin, we will go, okay, we will try it. So we will just apply this one, materials, account type. So if you click it, you can see it, or you can see the end of activity, start of activity, uniform over activity. I think you understand that already. If the, I mean, if you are spending the expenditure will be done at the end of the activity, or I mean, the delivery of materials or whatsoever will be delivered at the end of the activity, then you have to use this one, the end of activity. If it is needed at the start of the activity, so of course you have to put it at start of the activity. But if you want to distribute it uniformly along the duration of the activity, so you have to use this one. But since our, what they call this, our temporary facilities, it is not ideal to use the uniform over activity, or we cannot do to deliver it at the end of the activity because we cannot finish the project. And okay, so we need to put the start of activity. So that Primavera, when it distribute the cost of the materials, it will schedule it at the start of the activity, or maybe there is a lag from the start of the activity, lag number of days, something like that. So how about this one? Budgeted units. So we are already done here. Actual cost, we don't need this. So we should not, we will remove it. Actual cost, we don't need it now. Remaining cost, we don't need it. Vendor, if you need to use the vendor, you can do it. And also the actual auto compute actuals, we don't need it right now. Okay, apply. So, okay. Start of the activity. How much is our budgeted cost was it? That was 500,000. Okay. Am I right? 500,000. Okay. And the, so that means our budget for the temporary facilities is 500,000. So, okay. What is next? Resource. We're done. 9:30. 5:30. Okay. Next, let's go to site clearing. Okay, site clearing. Um, clearing and no, no, no. Clearing, site clearing and earthwork. So we have the dump truck. Where is it? Dump truck. Next is excavator loader. Excavator or loader. This one. Next is grader. Okay, just double click, highlight and double click, and then heavy equipment operator. Double click it, and then next, laborer, a laborer. Okay, non-skilled, roller, and then skilled. Just double click it. Okay, we have how many in our record? It shows 7 resources. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the duration. That's what I'm telling before, that let's say, for example, equipment, we cannot say that the duration of the whole activity will be the same as the duration of the resources or all of the resources. But some resources cannot be always the same duration as the activity because let's say, for example, we have here our dump truck. We only use 90 days for 130 days, right? Because we can finish the work of the dump truck without finishing the whole activity, the whole duration of the activity. Okay, let's say 90. Okay, dump truck and then excavators is also 90. And grader is 90. And heavy equipment operator is 130. It's correct. The laborer is 130, of course. Laborer is needed for the whole duration of the site clearing and earthwork, the same as the heavy equipment operator. Okay, and then the laborer, the ruler. So ruler, we have only 85 days. Okay, and then skilled, we have 130. That's fine. 130, let's check it. 130, 85, 130, 130, 90, 90, 90. Okay, fine. So let's go to the units per time, or I mean units per day, because our time here is day. So dump truck, how many dump trucks we have to use? Only one. And how about excavator? Only one. How about grader? Also one. Heavy equipment operator? Three. Why three? It is because we have three equipments here. So our estimate should have a three operator that will be needed. Okay. We'll go to laborer. How many laborer do we have? 5. And also ruler, we need 1. And skilled is 5. Okay. We have already input the data of the units per time. Let's say 1101, 3515. Okay. And the duration is 90. Just reviewing. 90, 90, 130, 130, 185, 130. Okay. And the rest, leave it to Primavera to calculate it. Okay. Because as you can see here, the price per unit, this is taken from our resource dictionary. So it will be calculated directly by Primavera here for the budgeted cost. You can check it if you want through manual calculation. But for me, I think Primavera will not get wrong. Okay, let's proceed. Site perimeter wall. Oh. Now we will proceed to site clearing and earthwork. Site perimeter wall. What is it? Site perimeter wall. So we will be using site perimeter wall, we'll be using laborer and skilled and laborer. And then how many 10 duration, both are the same. Then 10 also here. And then are you following me or not? Okay. Whether you follow me or not, I cannot see you, so I just assuming. Okay, budgeted units per time. 10 original duration. No, the original duration is 232, and then 232, and then units per time is 10 and 10. Okay. We will review it later, but so that we can be sure that while we are going further, we have no mistakes. And our exercise will go smoothly, okay? 232, 232, 10, 10. Okay, let's go to drainage network. Site drainage network, we have the heavy equipment operator. Double click it. Laborer and skilled. Laborer, skilled, and then tencher. Okay. Okay, we have how many resources? We have 4. So on the original duration, we can see I'm confused here. So we need to show the budgeted units. Okay, we will move the column of the budgeted units before the original duration so that it will match our data. Okay. Okay. Budgeted units, that is 1 for heavy equipment, 5 for labor and skilled, 5 for skilled, and then pincher is 1. And all how many durations? 45 all in all, the same. Okay, done. So we will go to guardhouse. What is our guardhouse? We have laborer and skilled. Okay. We will look at the resource dictionary, laborer and skilled. Double click it, and then here we are, laborer and skilled in our data for the what do you call this, guardhouse. So we have budgeted units is 2 for laborer and 2 for skilled, because guardhouse is only a small building. So we have our guardhouse and gates. We have 102 durations, so that's fine. Okay, next, site concrete road network. Guardhouse 102, 2, 102, 102, 2. So let's go to next is road network, a laborer and skilled, also the same. And the units is road network. We have 10 laborer, 10 skilled for 30 days. That's fine. Then we will go to site clearing and pull out. So we have here the site clearing. How many site clearing, laborer and skilled also. Laborer and skilled, and then how much is the unit per day for site clearing? We have 5 for laborer and 2 for skilled. And for how many days? 15 days. So laborer is 5, skilled is 2, 15 days. Okay. So let's go to demobilization. How much is demobilization? We have the laborer. Laborer, medium-sized truck. Okay, double click it here. We will move it closer here so that you can see it properly. And then truck driver. Where's truck driver here? And then we have the fuel. Okay, here. Okay, so we're looking at the units per day. We have the fuel, how many, that is 160 units. No. Are they the same with the, yes, it is 160 units. Uh, how many units? 160 for the fuel. And the duration is 8. Okay. Original duration 8, 160. Okay. So let's go to laborer. We have 5 units per day and 8. Okay, that's fine. How many units for medium-sized truck? We have only 1. And then truck driver, of course, 1. So 20, 1, 1, 5, and 20 for the fuel. So that means 20 liters per day is being used. Okay. Okay. Next is project management. Okay. What are our resources? Okay, we have already heard in the dictionary, double click project manager, double click project engineer, double click foreman. Okay, so budgeted units. So all of them are 1, 1, and 1, and the duration is automatically inherited from the activity duration. You know why? Because it is a level of effort activity that is ranging from the start of the project down to the completion of the project. Okay. Next, what shall we do next? We have our transportation. So if you will look at here, so we have here the transportation here. Double click it. Okay. So how many units do we have? But the budget is 300 units. Okay. So the duration, so that means we have the units per time, 1 unit per time. So what do you think? Are we done here or not? So let's see how much, if we will, if we are accurate on our data input, so our data will be, our total cost will be accurate as well. Okay, let's look at here. So we can see here it is 17,658,800. So take note, this is only the direct and indirect resources. So here, project management and transportation, these are the indirect items because it is not directly working on a certain or particular work, but they are just a support resources. While this at the top, from mobilization down to the move, these are the direct resources. But when we are preparing an estimate, let's say for the bidding, of course, we have to incorporate, the additional for the, let's say, overhead. We will explain that later. We have the overhead, the contingencies, like for example, the wastage of the materials during the installation. Okay. And then we have also the, what are the items? The taxes, and also the profit of the company. So we need to add it here on this item. So in short, this is only a direct cost of the activities that does not include the markup. We call it markup elements of the project cost. Okay. So I hope that we enter the right data so that we will not get any problem when we move on, when we move further. So let's review it. Mobilization. We will go up. Mobilization is we have the 600 fuel, 600 units, 45 days. And then we have 545 for the laborer. Medium-sized truck is 145. Truck driver 145. Let's go to temporary established facilities is 930. Skilled, and then 530 for the skilled. Okay, that's fine. We'll go to site clearing. We have 1111 dump truck excavator loader grader, all 90 days, and 130 for equipment operator, 3 days, and then labor 3 units per day, 5 laborer for 130 days. That's fine. 15 and 8530. Okay, let's go. Site perimeter wall. 1010 232. Okay. 1010 232. Besides these other two items, while we are just calculating the total cost, just leave it there because Primavera will take care of it. Let's go to site drainage. We have 1551. 1551 heavy complete laborer skill tincture, and then 45 45 45 prime. Next, guardhouse and gates. uh, Guardhouse and gates 22102. Okay. Concrete road network 10 10 10 30 30. That's fine. Site clearing 5 laborer, 2 skilled for 15 days. Okay, that's fine. Demobilization, we have laborer 5-8. Okay. We have 1-8 truck driver. Okay, and then 1-8 medium-sized truck. And then we have 8 duration for 160 liters of fuel. Okay, for 8 days. And then for project management, we have here foreman, the same 300 days, and we have transportation. Okay, we're done here. Okay, we're done. So as we can see here, the total budgeted total cost is 17,658,800. Just take note of it, and we will. And then next, okay, take note. This total project cost is only for the direct and indirect cost, without markups. So incorporating markup cost into our project schedule would be our next show. Okay, here is, okay, we're done. So Wait for a while, wait for a minute. Uh, where did we leave before? Okay, let's try this one. Are we done here? Okay. So here is our next episode. The next episode is part 2, session 12, and that is project markup cost estimate, method A. Okay, see you and thank you. And don't forget to like it, subscribe, and then share. Okay, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And thank you very much. Okay, end of session. By the way, guys, before we leave our seats, kindly lend me a few minutes of your time to let me take this opportunity to inform you that if you are interested for a personalized virtual consultation, mentoring, or tutorial services pertaining to construction project planning and control, I'll be happy at your service. While I am not currently employed and have enough spare and idle time to take use of it, that is the reason why I have a time preparing for this video exercise for you. I don't intend to ask for a commercialized price for my service, but we may say it is just a sort of a love gift as you consider it, or we can negotiate in a friendly or humanitarian treatment. Okay? I am offering this only for a sincere purpose and intention to share to the best of my knowledge through experience and at the same time stretching a helping hand for your development and success if you endeavored for this career. Now, if you tend to accept this offer, you will not only learn significantly, but imagine or think of it as a great help for me and for my family for a living while being severely affected by the COVID pandemic, causing to lose a job unexpectedly. So thank you for your time in listening, and I encourage you to continue to watch our exercise in the order of episode to keep you updated and will be guided along the course accordingly. Okay, God bless to all of us, and bye-bye.